Welcome back to Historical Repo, your home for exploring the forgotten chapters of our past. Today, we're journeying to West Africa, to the heart of what is now modern-day Nigeria, to uncover a lost wonder of the world. Forget what you think you know about ancient engineering marvels. We're about to explore a structure so vast, so complex, that it was once considered the largest earthwork on the planet. This is the story of the Walls of Benin. For centuries, travelers' tales and fragmented records spoke of a colossal network of walls and moats, a labyrinthine fortress deep within the African rainforest. These were not just city walls, they were a sprawling system of fortifications that dwarfed many of its more famous contemporaries. Imagine a structure 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China. A monumental feat of human labor and sophisticated planning, built without the aid of any modern machinery. This was the reality of the Great Walls of Benin, the heart of the powerful Edo Kingdom of Benin. The sheer scale is almost impossible to comprehend. Estimates suggest that the entire network, including the inner city walls and the vast outer ramparts, stretched for an astonishing 16,000 kilometers, or nearly 10,000 miles. It was a project of immense ambition, constructed over centuries, beginning as early as 800 AD. The walls weren't simple barriers. They were a complex system of defensive earthworks, consisting of a deep moat, or ditch, and a massive earthen rampart built from the excavated soil. The design was ingeniously simple yet incredibly effective. Attackers would first have to navigate the deep, often water-filled ditch, which in some places was as deep as a modern 2-story building. Then, they would face a near-vertical earthen wall, towering above them, from which the Edo defenders could easily repel any assault. This design created a formidable defensive line that protected the kingdom's towns, villages, and farmlands. At the center of this vast network lay Benin City, the capital of the Edo Kingdom. The city itself was protected by a primary inner wall, a massive structure that enclosed an area of about 7 square kilometers. This inner wall was the most impressive of all, a testament to the organizational power and engineering prowess of the Oba, the divine king of Benin. But the true genius of the system lay in how it extended outwards from the capital. A series of interconnected, smaller walls branched out from the main city, enclosing and protecting numerous other settlements and agricultural lands. It was a sophisticated system of rural and urban planning, a spiderweb of defenses that integrated the entire kingdom. Each community contributed to the construction and maintenance of its local section of the wall, fostering a sense of collective security and shared purpose. The construction process itself was a marvel. Using only simple tools like wooden spades and baskets, millions of cubic meters of earth were moved. It's estimated that the construction of the Walls of Benin consumed more man-hours than the Great Pyramid of Giza. This wasn't a project completed by a single ruler, it was a continuous effort spanning generations, a legacy built upon by successive Obas and their people. The walls were more than just a military defense. They were a powerful symbol of the Oba's authority and the kingdom's unity. They defined the boundaries of civilization, separating the ordered, prosperous world of the Benin Kingdom from the untamed wilderness beyond. Inside these walls, a highly organized society flourished. The kingdom was renowned for its intricate political structure, its vibrant culture, and its exceptional artists. The famous Benin bronzes, masterworks of metallurgy, are a testament to the sophisticated level of craftsmanship achieved within this protected realm. The city was laid out in a meticulous grid, with broad, straight avenues, a level of urban planning that astonished the first European visitors. Portuguese explorer Duarte Pacheco Pereira, writing in the early 16th century, described a city a league long from gate to gate, with houses made of mud walls and covered with palm leaves. He noted the absence of a wall around the main city at that time, suggesting the grandest fortifications were completed later, but he was deeply impressed by the order and scale of the settlement. The walls served to regulate trade, control movement, and demarcate social and political spaces within the vast kingdom. They were a physical manifestation of the Edo people's ingenuity and their deep connection to their land. For nearly 1,000 years, this colossal structure stood, a silent guardian of a thriving civilization. But the world was changing. By the late 19th century, European colonial ambitions were sweeping across the African continent. The independent and powerful Benin Kingdom, with its control over valuable trade routes in palm oil, ivory, and spices, stood in the way of British imperial expansion. Tensions mounted as the British sought to absorb the kingdom into their growing Nigerian protectorate. The Oba, Ovenramonad Besai, resisted British encroachment, attempting to maintain his kingdom's sovereignty. The breaking point came in 1897. A British delegation, under the command of Acting Consul General James Phillips, set out for Benin City, despite being warned by the Oba not to come at that time due to an important religious festival during which no foreigner could enter the city. Phillips, viewing this as a challenge to British authority, ignored the warnings and pressed on. The ill-fated expedition was ambushed by a contingent of Benin chiefs acting without the Oba's direct orders, and most of the British-led party was killed. The British Empire responded with overwhelming force. In what was termed the punitive expedition, a force of around 1,200 heavily armed troops was dispatched to conquer Benin. The Edo warriors, armed with traditional weapons, fought bravely to defend their homeland. But they were no match for the British Maxim guns and modern artillery. The battle was short and brutal. After 10 days of intense fighting, the British forces breached the Great Walls and captured Benin City. What followed was a tragedy of immense cultural and historical proportions. The city was systematically looted. The royal palace, the spiritual and political heart of the kingdom, was plundered. Thousands of priceless artifacts, including the legendary Benin bronzes, were stolen and shipped to London to be auctioned off to defray the cost of the expedition. This act of cultural theft scattered the heritage of the Edo people across the museums of Europe and America, where many of these items remain to this day. But the destruction didn't stop there. To crush the spirit of the Benin Kingdom and erase the symbols of its power, the British deliberately destroyed the city. Great fires were set, and much of the capital was burned to the ground. And the walls, the magnificent, ancient walls that had protected the kingdom for centuries, were systematically dismantled. The British military saw them as a potential source of future resistance and ordered them to be leveled. Over the next decades, what the expedition didn't destroy, nature and neglect began to reclaim. The rainforest, which had been held back for centuries, crept forward. The ditches filled in, and the great earthen ramparts eroded under the tropical sun and rain. By the mid-20th century, the world's largest earthwork had all but vanished from sight. Today, only faint traces of the Great Walls of Benin remain. Archaeologists have used satellite imagery and ground surveys to map the ghostly outlines of the ancient network. In some rural areas, you can still find shallow depressions and low ridges in the forest, the last vestiges of the once mighty ditches and ramparts. But the grand, towering structures described by early visitors are gone forever, a lost wonder of the world. The story of the Walls of Benin is a powerful reminder of a sophisticated and powerful African civilization. It is a tale of incredible engineering, of a society that shaped its environment on a monumental scale. But it is also a tragic story of colonial destruction and the deliberate erasure of history. The loss of the walls, and the looting of the Benin bronzes, represents an immeasurable loss not just for the Edo people of Nigeria, but for all of humanity. It's a chapter of history that has been overlooked for far too long, overshadowed by tales of other ancient wonders. But the legacy of the Walls of Benin endures, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the people who built them. Thank you for joining us on this journey to uncover the lost walls of Benin. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, please like this video, subscribe to Historical Repo, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the forgotten corners of history.